Hi, I'm Kel Sweeney from the Video Geeks. I'm here to talk to you today about Video SL, Serato Video SL. I've got some international gigs coming up. I'm used to using the Pioneer setup, which is absolutely bulletproof and I love it. Obviously, I don't fancy getting an SVM1000 in its flight case and two DVJ1000s onto a plane, plus the fact that I have to carry thousands and thousands of DVDs, literally. So it all becomes rather weighty. So I've been looking at the video Serato for a little while, and I thought, well, let's dive in and have a play and see what I can do with it. Just to cover what the SVM does first of all, there's all sorts of stuff that this can do. I really love the way you can manipulate the way you're feeding the different videos in. You've got your video solo mode, so you can press your button and that assigns whatever channel I want up onto the screen, one at a time. So if I've got two tracks running, it will literally flick between the two, which is very handy for doing choppy mixes and the house stuff. The minute I move that fader just a little tiny bit, bang, up it comes onto the master fader, master output, which is very good. And obviously the same the other one. Anytime you touch the fader, it sends that screen to the master. You can also trans in the videos by touching it, which I really love. So you've got manual control, you can drop it out. If it's in, you can drop it out like so, and if it's not in, you can drop it in. So there's all sorts of bits and pieces, and it's got the video effects that are AV fired. So if I fire the video effects on this one, it will do all sorts of weird and wonderful things. I haven't got any DVJs hooked up to this at the moment. I'm just quickly running through what the video effects do in relation to what the Serato can do, and obviously I can change the effect and do all sorts of kinds of things like that, and that's what the SVM does. Let's look at what Serato Video SL can do. Here's Serato Video. I'm running it off a MacBook Pro, a 97 version, which is a slightly older one, but it seems to be handling it, so I'm not looking at spending a couple of grand on a new laptop just yet. What I've actually done is I've MIDI linked it. MIDI link comes straight out the back of the SVM into a USB hub on the Mac, and that gives me fader control. I'll move this screen out of the way for a moment. You can see when I move the faders I have assigned, it will actually fade in the video. That's your master output, and this is left and right channels, and that's obviously fading it in as I fade up my channel fader. Very, very easy to set up. It's, in fact, it's ridiculously easy. Just press your MIDI, move it over what you want to select, and then you just fire the relevant channel fader. Job done. So that's all set for that, and I've got the crossfader assigned as well. You can have it firing the effects, but I'm literally talking about the functionality of the actual Serato at the moment. I'll do another video another time about how the effects and things actually can be fired. Effects wise, on the SVM, on the crossfader, there are 6 different modes for the crossfader. You've got your chromas, your luminance, your switch for your scratching, your wipe and your fade. If we come back up to Serato, this is the default settings for the crossfaders, and you can see there are quite a few. In fact, there's some crazy amounts of crossfade transitions. I'm not entirely certain that some of them are any good, but generally they are sort of, quite useful at some point. So I'm just going to select back to the default one just for the purposes of this. Video effects. Video effects, it actually can run 2 different video effects simultaneously. When you select a video effect, on the SVM you've got 3 banks of effects, of which there are 12 different versions. You've got your beat effects, you've got your touch effects, and you've got your text effects, and they all, with the text ones, whatever you flash up, it will actually assign an audiovisual effect to that. With Serato, when I call up the effects for the video, there is once again a crazy amount of effects. There is possibly more variation, but some of them are a bit tacky. I'm not too keen on some of them. Some of them are pretty good, but we'll come to those. But I'm just going to put that back to empty at the moment. Another thing to mention is that when I'm using, I'm not using DVJ1000s because there is no need for DVJ1000s as such. I've actually got CDJ2000s hooked up, and I love these. If this could make me a cup of tea, I would marry it. It's basically a USB controller. I've got each deck hooked in via USB into a USB hub, which is somewhere down here. Here it is, USB hub. And it's running in this control mode, which is the HID advanced mode. If I use the jog wheel, you can see it selects the tracks, and if we just flick up here to Serato, you can see that it's actually controlling everything on Serato. And if I come back down to the screen, if I want to change the bank that I'm looking in, I press back and it's got my different record boxes, and I can go into that. This Serato I'm running is all video, everything on here is video. I don't play anything which is just audio, everything I play is video. So this is going to be a real test, and I'm looking to kind of stress test this. I've got about 300 videos on here at the moment. I'm going to be running a lot more than that. I've got a 1 terabyte Lacy hard drive here, which has got about 20 gigs of videos on it at the moment. So it's really only touching the surface of it. And it literally is like putting in a CD. You can get a track, we select a track like that, and let it play. And then you can see you've got our screen up here. I'm not running the video out at the moment because it's not really important for what I really want to talk about. But the functionality is I've got my fader, fades in the audio and the video, all very nicely. And then I've got my functionality of the CDJ2000, which literally becomes like a DVJ1000. So really the advantage of this I can see is I could walk into a club with a laptop and a hard drive instead of hundreds and hundreds of DVDs, so it saves my back. I'm getting old now, so I can't really be carrying too much around in my old age, because one day my back's going to snap. So that's what I'm loving about this at the moment. I still have questions about the reliability of it. I'm really hoping it doesn't crash on me. I went to the yoga show at the IMAX London last week, and apparently there were some issues in the first show. I don't know what caused that. He's using a slightly different setup, but he is using 100% Serato, so who knows. But Serato itself at the moment is quite good. I'm liking it, and you've got your video, and you can just chop between the different videos. Move my crossfader over, there you go. And you've literally got everything you need in. So it's literally like plugging in DVDs. The difference being is that I can select my tracks a lot quicker. I haven't got to take out a DVD, wait for it to load, which the load time is pretty minimal, to be honest with you. It's not exactly, it's not fast, but it's not the slowest thing in the world. And then we can basically just select a track like that, and then you're into the next one. I've yet to try the quality of the video output. That's something that I'm going to be looking at. But over the next couple of weeks, what I'm looking at is loading videos into this and just literally stress testing it to see if I can break it during a set, which will be interesting to see. So yeah, so far quite impressed with Serato Video. I know some of people have been using Serato Video a lot longer. I still don't think it's going to completely replace the SVM. In fact, the dream setup is what I'm going to be looking to do over the next couple of weeks is actually running it through a video to go box, separating the video output and running in the left output video into the left depth channel and right video output into right channel. Then it's actually opening up the world of effects on the SVM rather than using the Serato, which I think might tax the CPU a lot less and in theory might cause it to crash a bit less often. If we can just get a close-up of the current setup on the activity monitor, let's bring up the activity monitor. Can we get in on that? There we go. So at the moment, Scratch Live is about 55% of CPU. Video SL is about 43.9%. And the system memory, this is running with 3 gig of RAM in it, and it's currently got 467 megs left. So it's quite CPU heavy. About 2.5 gig. It's kind of crashing through at the moment, and the CPU is kind of doing its thing. But if we fire in an effect, let's see what happens if we fire in an effect. Let's have a bit of a let's have one of them, shall we? There we go. That's doing its video thing there. Let's see what it's going to do now. Yeah, it's still handling it. It's still got 470 meg of memory free. I wouldn't want to go checking my email and having a buzz around on Safari when it's doing its thing, but it seems to be handling it. And switching back to that, let's let's fire an effect on that as well. There we go, let's have that. And bring this up. And then we can, let's see what that's doing now. Then we leave both those up and see what it does then. Let's bring up this CPU, have a look. Still 473, so I do think that it might actually take what you're going to use it for at the moment. Then we can start looking at how we can use the different videos and things like that. So there you go, that's Serato Video SL. It'll be interesting to see how the stress testing is going to go. I'm just writing up a report on all this, and I'll bore you silly with it. I'll also do something on these Novation dicers. Loving these. It gives me 5 hot cues. It's got a rolling loop, a bit like the CDJ900s, and it's also got instant 4-beat loops and 2-beat loops and half-beat loops and things like that. So yeah, that's good fun. I won't talk about that just now, but that's what I'm looking to use. But the CDJ2000 running in its HRD mode actually is built, and you don't have to set any of this up to run Serato. If any Serato users out there walking into a club that's got these, you don't even need to plug your box in. You don't need time code in it. It just does its thing on its own, as long as you connect it via USB to your laptop. And that's that. More information, more details going to be up on both the websites, my website kelsweeney.com and also video-geeks.com. Lots of stuff on there with my partner Ben, and you can see the kind of stuff we do and what we're using. And there you go. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.